Today on the show, we have the House of Mouse headlines brought to you by laughingplace.com, your up-to-date resource for the latest Disney news every day of the week. This episode is being released on November 13th, 2024, and here's what's been going on in the world of Disney recently. New holiday entertainment offerings coming to the Disneyland Resort, real NFL entering the animated world of The Simpsons, a new option for flying from Walt Disney World to Disneyland Paris, and more.
Hear the latest news from the Walt Disney Company in today's House of Mouse headlines.
Accomplished Disney Parks composer George Wilkins, known for composing a number of classic Disney Parks scores, has sadly passed away at the age of 90, according to reports. Wilkins' work could be heard in attractions ranging from Space Mountain to Food Rocks and Horizons, with some of his other credits including The Living Seas, Living with the Land, Test Track, The Great Movie Ride, the 1993 version of The Carousel of Progress, and many more. He also worked on the full Sunny Eclipse show that performs at Magic Kingdom. Wilkins retired from Disney following his final project in 2008, which was writing arrangements for Hong Kong Disneyland's version of It's a Small World. Our thoughts are with George's family at this time. Moana will soon be debuting a new look at Disney parks across the globe. The popular character will don a new costume inspired by the upcoming sequel. Beginning November 24th, your favorite Voyager will appear at Disney California Adventure and Epcot in this updated outfit. Then, the look will come to Hong Kong Disneyland on November 29th. Originally, Disney also listed a Disneyland Paris arrival date, but has since removed it. Moana 2 comes to theaters November 27th. A special pre-show celebrating Moana 2 is coming to World of Color at Disney California Adventure. More specifically, the new pre-show titled Boat Snack will perform before World of Color Season of Light starting November 15th. And while Disney states that this edition is only for a limited time, an end date has not been announced. Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland Park is expanding its Life Day celebration for 2024. After releasing 3 limited-time treats in 2023, they're upping it to 8 different food and drink items this time around. Some of these selections include the Life Day Cheese Branch with Katsaka's Secret Sauce, Blue Milk with Golden Lickin' Patty Frog Eggs, a Sergeant Snowcap, Cablug Curry, Maliflower Toast, and more. Many of these items will be available from November 15th to January 7th, although a Wookiee Life Day bucket will be available at Katsaka's Kettle starting on Life Day itself, November 17th. At this time, no such offerings have been announced for Walt Disney World's Galaxy's Edge, but that could always change. The Disneyland Resort has announced the 2024 distribution schedule and details for their insanely popular handmade candy canes. First, for a chance to buy one of the candy canes this year, a wristband system or a mobile waitlist will be used since quantities are limited. If the waitlist is activated, you can register your name and phone number at the location to receive a text notification with a designated time to return for the opportunity to buy your candy cane. Note that these candy canes will not be available through mobile order, and a limited number of candy canes will be available for each release date and is limited to 1 per guest per day. At Candy Palace and Candy Kitchen in Disneyland Park, the canes will be available on select dates beginning November 29th, while Trolley Treats will offer them on select dates starting November 30th. Between the two parks, there are a total of 18 days where the candy canes will be made, including Christmas Day. For more info and to nab one of these treats for yourself, be sure to check the Disneyland app. To no one's surprise, when Tiana's Bayou Adventure officially opens at Disneyland later this month, it will continue to use a virtual queue. However, the park recently revealed that there will now be 3 daily distribution times. These drops will take place at 7 a.m., noon, and 4 p.m. daily. However, this thrice daily schedule is exclusive to Tiana's Bayou Adventure, as World of Color and Haunted Mansion Holiday will continue to offer only 2 drops per day at 7 a.m. and noon. Also, unlike the Magic Key preview period, once the ride officially opens, guests can only hold a boarding group for 1 attraction at a time. Tiana's Bayou Adventure debuts at Disneyland on Friday, November 15th. Get ready to enjoy a special evening enjoying Louisiana-inspired food at the California Grill in Florida. Confused? Well, Walt Disney World guests can ring in the new year with the help of Princess Tiana and a pricey, one-of-a-kind event. Immerse yourself in the whimsical surroundings of California Grill, where you'll see Princess Tiana and Prince Naveen. They've stopped by to sample the cuisine, meet some new friends, and assist Tiana's friend, Chef Matthew. With the help of Mama Odie's magic, Louis and a few of Tiana's other critter pals have crashed the party. Throughout the night, Mama Odie will cast playful spells to help Louis and friends stay out of sight of Tiana and Naveen. The event will also feature live musicians, a champagne toast to 2025 at midnight, and viewing of the Magic Kingdom fireworks. The cost for this experience is $799, which includes tax and gratuity. Tiana's New Year's adventure at California Grill will take place from 7:30 p.m. to 12:30 a.m. on December 31st. To book, call 407-824-2013. For the first time in over 30 years, the Magic Kingdom is set to debut a brand new nighttime parade with Disney's Starlight. And at the recent D23 Brazil convention, new concept art for one of the parade's floats was revealed. The art showcases a float featuring the beloved wayfarer Moana. This float reveal joins previous looks at the parade that includes representation for the Blue Fairy from Pinocchio, Peter Pan and Wendy, Elsa, and the Family Madrigal from Encanto. The all-new Disney Starlight Nighttime Parade is set to debut in summer 2025 at Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom. The Disneyland Hotel at Disneyland Paris is receiving some new holiday magic this year with the introduction of the Guards of the Winter Holidays. These figures welcome residents and visitors in the lobby and rotunda, dressed in costumes inspired by those of Disneyland Hotel cast members. In the lobby, guests can admire the Book of Time, which is held by a guard of the winter holidays beside the Christmas tree, while two other guards stand watch by the grand staircase. As the set designer director for Disney Hotels at Walt Disney Imagineering Paris, Sophie Coudray, said, "With the Guards of the Winter Holidays, we wanted to create a new and unique tradition for this exceptional landmark that is Disneyland Hotel. And who knows, maybe next year the carpenter will have new creations to make the celebration even grander." The Tokyo Disney Resort has announced its plans for the new year. At Tokyo Disneyland and Tokyo Disney Sea, from January 1st through the 13th, guests can catch New Year's greeting, during which Mickey Mouse and his friends will greet guests in celebration of the new year while clad in traditional Japanese attire. Ahead of that, starting December 26th, cast members at the parks will hand out cards designed with Daruma. The idea is for guests to write their wishes and dreams for the new year on these cards and carry them as a reminder of their hopes. Then, starting December 28th, the entrance to World Bazaar in Tokyo Disneyland will be adorned with New Year's Kadomatsu decorations featuring Mickey wearing a Japanese outfit. Kadomatsu decorations with designs of Mickey and Minnie will also be displayed at the entrance to Passaggio Miracosta in Tokyo Disney Sea. Of course, a number of specialty food and merchandise items will also be part of the New Year's celebration. So get ready to experience the vibrant atmosphere unique to the Japanese New Year at Tokyo Disney Resort and celebrate the start of the new year alongside your favorite Disney friends. Those hoping to hop from Walt Disney World to Disneyland Paris may soon have a convenient option. Recently, Air France announced plans to launch direct service between Orlando International Airport and Paris Charles de Gaulle. The route will only operate on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, with flights to Paris departing at 11 p.m. and return flights scheduled for 5:05 p.m. This route marks Air France's re-establishment at MCO after its service previously stopped back in 2012. Orlando to Paris service aboard Air France is expected to begin May 21st, 2025. With the Disney Treasure currently on its way to its home port in Florida, the Disney Parks blog recently previewed some of the horn arrangements that will be part of the ship's repertoire. 3 of the 7 new songs are Grim Grinning Ghosts, as a nod to the ship's Haunted Mansion parlor location, Remember Me, honoring the theatrical dining restaurant Plaza de Coco, and A Whole New World, which is a tie into the ship's Grand Hall that features a sculpture of Aladdin and Jasmine. A special holiday composition has also been created for this year's holiday season. You can hear more of these horn songs for yourself when the Disney Treasure sets sail on its maiden voyage December 21st. At D23 Brazil, Walt Disney Animation Studios provided a few updates on Zootopia 2. First, it was revealed that Shakira will be returning to provide a new song for Gazelle following the popular Try Everything from the first film. On the stage, Jared Bush, the chief creative officer of Walt Disney Animation Studios, also revealed concept art of a new character called Nibbles, who looks to be a beaver, as well as Gary the Snake, who will be voiced by Academy Award-winning actor Ke Huy Quan. Zootopia 2 follows brave rabbit cop Judy Hopps and her friend, the fox Nick Wilde, who team up again to crack a new case, the most perilous and intricate of their careers, and is expected to arrive in theaters November 26, 2025. Believe it or not, the Ice Age franchise is expanding once again. At D23 Brazil, it was confirmed that Ice Age 6 was in the works and is set for release in 2026. Ray Romano, John Leguizamo, Queen Latifah, Dennis Leary, and Simon Pegg are all set to return to their iconic voice roles for the new installment. While Disney previously released an Ice Age spin-off film, The Ice Age Adventures of Buck Wild, directly to Disney Plus in 2022, as well as a series of shorts, Ice Age Scrat Tales, this is the first theatrical Ice Age film to be created under Disney and since the shuttering of Blue Sky Studios. Expect to hear more about this latest installment to the popular franchise as 2026 draws nearer. According to a report from Deadline, filmmaker Simon Kinberg has reached a deal with Lucasfilm to develop a new trilogy of Star Wars films for which he will serve as both writer and producer. Credited as co-creator of the popular animated series Star Wars Rebels, alongside Lucasfilm's current chief creative officer Dave Filoni and vice president of development Carrie Beck, Kinberg was also previously to write the screenplay for the abandoned Boba Fett standalone film set to be directed by Josh Trank back in 2018. Currently, word on whether this trilogy would represent episode 10, 11, and 12 of the Skywalker saga is conflicted, and Disney has yet to comment on the reported hire. Of course, with Lucasfilm's track record of announced but long-lingering projects, it could be some time before we learn anything about the plan for Kinberg and his visions. At long last, the promised second season of Andor has a release date. The new season will kick off on Disney Plus on April 22nd. Notably, the title of the series has apparently been changed from Star Wars Andor to Andor, a Star Wars Story, more closely matching the 2016 movie Rogue One, a Star Wars Story, to which it serves as a prequel. The first season of the show is currently streaming on Disney Plus. Disney and the Recording Academy have announced a decade-long deal that will see the Grammys leave CBS and jump to Disney-owned platforms, as well as new Grammy-branded specials and programming. The new 10-year global deal will see the Grammys exclusively simulcast on ABC, Hulu, and Disney Plus, and marks the first time music's biggest night has had a new home in 50 years. This deal also means that, in 2027, which is the first year of the agreement, ABC will air the Grammys, the Oscars, and Super Bowl. Academy Award winner Taika Waititi has directed a new holiday short for Disney that is now available to watch. The Boy and the Octopus debuted on November 12th, but oddly came directly to Disney's YouTube channel. Of course, Taika Waititi is best known for his work directing Thor Ragnarok and Thor Love and Thunder, and previously won the Academy Award for Best Adapted Screenplay for his work on Searchlight Pictures' Jojo Rabbit. Waititi's The Boy and the Octopus can now be viewed on YouTube. And now it's time to bring back Kyle Burbank from laughingplace.com. How you doing, Kyle?
I'm doing pretty well, Jeff. How about you?
Good. Nobody can see this, but Kyle is wearing some facial hair this week, which is new for him.
I can't actually grow it all the way. If you see, there's like a couple of smooth streaks on either side of my face. I can do I've done a mustache. I've done like the little bottom chin thing, but never a full beard. If you see a full beard, it's because I didn't feel like shaving. And I also can't shave like every day. So I also just have stubble. I shave like twice a week.
Oh my God, I envy you. I have to. I'll go a day without, and I'm like okay with the length for a day. But beyond that, it has to be shaved. And I shave my head every single day.
I don't like it, but it hurts to do it too often. I got very sensitive baby skin.
Yeah, if you see me more than one day of facial hair length, means it's like for a Halloween costume, which I did this year for a pirate. I grew it out for like 3 or 4 days. But yeah, I will say I have facial hair to envy, and it pisses people off because I don't let it grow out, but I could grow a really good beard. I have a nice full facial hair, and also it's just placed so beautifully. It's placed in a way that people like sculpt it with a blade. It just, you know how some people, it goes way up the cheek, and I'm like, it doesn't on me. It's perfectly placed. I don't appreciate it, and I shave it off nearly every day.
I'm smiling because you're getting dangerously close to making me do my Trump impression.
I know. I could, honestly, as I was saying it, I was like, he's gonna do it. We're not doing that this week. Kyle. It's been too hard. Anyway, let's jump into some news, because when Festival of the Holidays at Disney California Adventure returns this year, in addition to the entertainment offerings, we'll have some new outdoor stuff, including Mirabel's Gifts of the Season. Mirabel's Gifts of the Season will be performed outside the entrance to Paradise Gardens on Mondays through Fridays. The show is described as one in which Mirabel and her friends rejoice in the spirit of the holidays, bringing everyone together during their very own Fiesta de Navidad celebration. Though performers can be seen wearing costumes evoking other characters, the only specific recognizable character from Encanto in the concept art is Mirabel. Luisa and Isabella recently made limited-time appearances at Disneyland Resort, and Bruno has made appearances as well at Disneyland Resort, so we'll soon find out if any other familiar faces join Mirabel. You know, I love to hear new holiday entertainment because, you know, I mean, I talk about it all the time with the Christmas Fantasy Parade. Their holiday stuff runs for a long time, it feels like. And I feel like there's not enough new every year, but we're getting some new. And it's not just this, but it's exciting.
Yeah, well, there's a fuller story that I want to discuss. So let's continue along, and then we'll see if we can figure out what it is.
All right. Does it have something to do with unions?
I mean, potentially.
All right. Well, Disney California Adventure will also debut a musical Christmas with Mariachi Alegria de Disneyland and Miguel this holiday season. This nighttime show, this is interesting. It feels like it's
it gets dark at 5 o'clock in this. It's kind of a technicality.
I think it's because of scheduling more so than like it actually being a nighttime show. It's just, yeah. So this nighttime show gathers friends and families to listen to heartfelt stories and timeless songs in an enchanting celebration of the holidays. Mariachi Alegria de Disneyland, accompanied by graceful dancers, delivers intimate, bilingual performances of beloved Christmas songs. The celebration closes with a special appearance by Miguel from Coco for a beautiful rendition of Silent Night. This show will only take place on Monday through Friday evenings on Buena Vista Street. So I believe this one's in front of Carthay. Is what I'm hearing. And I'm curious, with Miguel, is it going to be a puppet? Is it going to be a mascot? Is it going to be a singer?
The concept art makes it look like it'll be like the full-sized Miguel, so he probably won't be doing any singing himself, but he'll probably lead us or pretend like he's singing with us.
I would love to, I mean, he's a little boy, so I get it. That's a little tough to cast, but I would love a live Miguel singing. That'd be great.
Yeah. That would be cool. We got one more piece. Here it comes, Jeffrey. You're going to identify it. I guarantee it.
All right. The popular Disney Viva Navidad street party will return to Disney California Adventure for Festival of the Holidays, but you'll have less chances than usual to check it out, as Viva Navidad will only take place on Saturdays and Sundays this year.
You did it. Apparently, it's cheaper to run 2 shows than it is 1 parade.
So this isn't, this is a, what do they call it? Probably not even a cavalcade. This is a street show, or a show stop, really. I've raved about it for years. Disney Viva Navidad is phenomenal. From what I understand, it's like an outside group that's brought in. It's not Disney produced, I think. I could be mistaken about that. But obviously this is a costly show to do. Plus, once again, it's been around for a good number of years at this point. So I'm okay with it. Obviously, it sucks. If you're going to Disneyland one day for the holidays, you're having to pick and choose. And it is interesting to me that the new stuff is during the week, which means, you know, people who frequent the parks want to see the new stuff typically. So if the thinking, you know, from Disney is, oh, well, these people are going to come on weekends anyway, let's get them to pay again or, you know, come more. Let's drag them in during the week when it's not as busy with the new stuff.
Well, I think if you're looking at passes, they're probably not blocked out during the day, so you can kind of, because, you know, during the holiday season, it's pretty busy across the board. Like, yeah, there's definitely days that are busier. So I wonder if the idea of having 2 different shows during the day, at different times of day, you get annual pass holders to come, not use up capacity by going on rides because they want to see these new shows, and then making them stay all day to buy a bunch of food because they want to see both new things.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. The scheduling is interesting. The Mirabel's daytime, the Miguel is nighttime. So, yeah, and all in Disney California Adventure. So, obviously, Disneyland gets quite busy during the holidays because, Disneyland during the holidays, there's just a certain sense of tradition that immediately goes with that. And they're trying to get folks over to DCA. Yeah, plus, it all fits within the Festival of the Holidays theme, right? It's festivals around the world sort of thing. So, as a reminder, if you're not familiar, the Three Caballeros will host a joyous street party featuring Mexican folklorico dancers and mariachis, Brazilian samba dancers and percussionists, giant Mojiganga puppets, I think is how you say it, and Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse in their holiday best. That is Disney Viva Navidad. If you've never seen it, check out Disney Viva Navidad. It is so good. But you will have less chances, as we said, only Saturday and Sunday for that. Whereas in the past, I believe it was 7 days a week in the past. So
I think so.
Pretty wild. But that's some new holiday stuff, new and returning holiday stuff for Disney California Adventure. Anything else you want to add? Any of the new stuff that you're most excited for? I'm a big Coco guy, so.
Yeah, no, I think they should be fun. All I could think of when they did announce the Mirabel thing is I'm like, well, I hope it's better than the one at Epcot that Jeff lambasted.
I still can't get over it. It was so... Actually, oh no. Now that you mention it, the way that Laughing Place describes the characters, the costumes that aren't specific to different characters, that's starting to make me think Epcot. It's got to be better than Epcot's. It has to be. Kyle.
Let's hope.
Why are you ruining Christmas, Kyle, with such thoughts?
I didn't ruin anything. I'm lowering your expectations so that it'll be phenomenal when you see it. You're like, you know what? I went in not expecting much, and instead it was a Christmas gift to me.
I am seeing it very, very soon. So next time we chat, I will let you know what I think of it. Sound good?
I look forward to that. Yes.
All right, let's hop over to Disneyland with some of their holiday stuff because
it's a long walk.
Yeah, super far. The Fantasyland Theater, we discussed this a little bit before, but here are some more details. The Fantasyland Theater will play home to the new Holiday Fun with Santa and Friends experience throughout this year's holiday season, beginning November 15th at the happiest place on earth. Santa Claus without an S at the end, just C-L-A-U-S. I mean, without an E at the end, rather. C-L-A-U-S, no E, folks. There is no E at the end of Santa Claus.
Did you watch my live stream this morning? Because I confess that for the longest time I didn't get the pun in the movie because I didn't think that about how it was spelled. Because I don't think I ever wrote the word Santa Claus as a kid. Why would you?
Why would you? Dear Santa Claus, send me this. Hello.
No, I don't think I ever wrote letters to Santa.
You never wrote a letter to Santa Claus?
And if I did, I probably just said Santa.
Oh,
not
man.
Santa Claus.
Well, no, I did not hear your live stream, but this is a sticking point for me. Every year, I graciously post a PSA on social media reminding people, and I blame Disney. Although, to be fair, I saw the original poster recently for the Santa Claus, the Tim Allen movie, and the E is a different font,
off,
a different,
right?
Yeah, it's like falling. It's clearly not the proper way to spell it, but there's a whole generation of people who spell it incorrectly. Apparently, that was you for a long time, but now you know, Kyle, and knowing is half the battle.
I didn't misspell it. I just didn't realize that it was a pun. But now, as an adult, and I realize that there's a difference between Klaus and Claus, which is a clause, which is what the movie's about. I've never seen the movie. That's the other thing.
Whoa, Kyle.
But I understand now that it is the Santa Claus, not the Santa Claus.
You cannot move on without discussing. How have you not seen the Santa Claus? Do you have something against
any
it?
interest?
Kyle, it's really good.
Okay.
It's really good. I actually rewatched the 3 movies to prep for the TV series, which, by the way, we're not getting a new season this year, are we?
I think it was just the 2, right?
The 2. Second season was horrifically bad. I enjoyed the first season. It wasn't as good as the films.
Third.
Yeah.
And he's doing a new show on ABC.
Oh,
so
okay.
Maybe that's
he's
also
busy.
part of it.
Well, you should. Okay, this year you have 2 assignments, Kyle, for the holiday season. Watch the Santa Claus and watch the live action Year Without a Santa Claus. Okay.
It's a Santa Claus and Santa Claus double feature.
You really should watch the Santa Claus. would be surprised if you don't.
One of those
like
is
it.
way more accessible than the other.
Yes. And if you're going to pick one, I would say watch The Santa Claus. It's a good movie. It's a very good movie. Anyway, Santa Claus with no E. He'll be accompanied by Disney characters as they make appearances and pose for holiday photos with guests at this Holiday Fun with Santa and Friends celebration. This experience will also include craft making, atmospheric music, and sing-alongs of classic holiday songs. Fantasyland Theater most recently hosted the Pixar Pals Playtime Party during Pixar Fest this past spring and summer, so it's similar to that and should be fun. Guests will also have the opportunity to meet Santa Claus at Redwood Creek Challenge Trail in Disney California Adventure, because he's obviously hopping back and forth, from November 15th through December 24th. And then look for Santa Goofy in this location from Christmas through January 6th, because Santa needs a break after the 24th. And Disneyland Resort's 3 hotels, the Disneyland Hotel, Disney's Grand Californian Hotel and Spa, and Pixar Place Hotel. He'll be there November 28th through December 24th. He's going to lose some weight just hopping from one location
Not to mention
another.
the Walt Disney World locations.
Oh my gosh, he's getting some good flyer miles. Although I don't, he's got the reindeer. I don't think he gets flyer miles for that. In any case, additionally, a Disney holiday dance party will take place at Disneyland's Tomorrowland Terrace from November 16th through January 6th, featuring holiday music and appearances by Disney characters. So lots of characters for the holidays.
Dance party in Tomorrowland. Revolutionary.
But this is the first I'm hearing of it for the holidays. Is this new news?
I don't know. They didn't bill it as being new. I feel like they're just going to use that area for pop-up stuff.
It's kind of just an expectation at this point to have a dance party there.
Yeah. Anytime you go to an event, that's where it is. In either coast, there's a stage in both Tomorrowlands, and there's dance parties. And sometimes you get, they used to have, that's where Suburban Legends would be in that Tomorrowland.
Yep, and they did recently at D23 Day at Disneyland, and I saw him for the first time. And when I ran into the guy that I know who's in Suburban Legends at an event that we were both working, I was like, dude. And he's like, dude. He's like, I saw you there. I was like, I had no idea that band was you. So he might have to come on the podcast and talk all about it. We might have to make that happen. In any case.
That would be fun. I would listen to that.
I hope you listen to them all, Kyle.
I do. Or at least the vast majority.
You're like, I would listen to the entirety of that one. Well, let's move on from Christmas to, let's talk ESPN sports, Kyle, because I love sports.
I know you are. That's why I knew you would choose this one and that it would be at the top of your list, except that it was third on the list because it's the third story we're talking about.
It's actually really interesting. Obviously, I'm joking. I don't care about sports, but this is some interesting news. ESPN has announced that on Monday, December 9th, fans can catch an alternate cast of the Cincinnati Bengals versus Dallas Cowboys game on The Simpsons Fun Day Football. The program will fully immerse viewers into Springfield with an entirely animated version of the NFL game. The presentation will stream on Disney Plus and ESPN Plus, as well as on mobile with NFL Plus. Traditional Monday Night Football telecasts will air on ESPN, ABC, and ESPN Deportes. Is that a thing? Mm-hmm. Okay. Monday Night Football with Peyton and Eli will air on ESPN2, and all telecasts begin at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. In collaboration with The Simpsons creators, Fun Day Football will feature visuals and sound effects authentic to ESPN, the NFL, and the longest-running animated series of all time. Now, this is the second time that Disney, the NFL, and ESPN have presented a Fun Day Football telecast, which was presented by Toy Story last year. With Sony's state-of-the-art tech, every snap, run, pass, and score will be captured live in the world of The Simpsons. So this is happening in real time.
Yeah. So, in addition, you just mentioned they did the Toy Story one last year, which it didn't come out great. There was some technical difficulties, so hopefully they'll fix those. But then they've also done two NHL games with Big City Greens.
Okay, so Bart will root for the Bengals and Homer will cheer for the Cowboys.
That sounds about right.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. As the pair face off in a classic family rivalry. Occasionally, the two characters will join the game, replacing a player during the animated telecast. Marge and Lisa will interview players during the game, with Maggie flying the Skycam. Throughout Fun Day Football, many of The Simpsons' iconic characters will make guest appearances. The animated series cast will voice several of their characters in pre-recorded bits and skits. Don't miss The Simpsons Fun Day Football when it airs on December 9th. So here's the question I have for you.
Sure.
Knowing nothing about the sports, is this like an important game or an unimportant game? Like, I'm curious, did they pick a game that was like, it doesn't really matter to play around and have some fun with it? Or is this like a game that people care about?
It had the capacity before the season started to be a really good game. And it's now shaping up to be a game that is less important because neither team has lived up to their potential so far this season.
Go sports.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's not the Tank Bowl. It's not the worst teams. They easily could have predicted and chosen a less headlining. It's still Monday Night Football. So, I mean, Monday Night Football is supposed to be like a marquee game. So the fact that they build it, that they decide to make this game Monday Night Football already has an air of importance.
Do you know who my team is?
You don't have a team.
Well, my roommate likes to think I do, because
Are you the Pats?
He's very into the football, and he'll always be like, "Your team's losing," and I'll be like, "My team is the team that's winning. Whoever's winning, that's my team." So the statement "your team is losing," and when he says your team, he means the Patriots, being from New England. But I'm like, no. My team is the team that's winning. So you can never say your team is losing.
So now you're a Chiefs fan.
If they're winning, they're my team.
There you go. They're 9-0 right now.
I'll tell you, that's the best way to bet if you're going to play football.
To bet on the winners?
Yeah, be like, I'm the winning
Pro
team.
tip.
Yeah, pro tip.
It's a solid strategy. No, I have friends, this is in college football, but they're from UCLA. So their favorite team is UCLA, and their second favorite team is whoever is playing USC.
Kyle, I don't know if this is factual, but if I were going to bet, I would say this is the longest period of straight time we've talked about sports on this podcast. Now, I do have a question about this because it uses some of Sony's state-of-the-art tech. And I know that Disney and Sony, they kind of got into bed together for the whole like home video thing. Does this have anything to do with like Sony and Disney collaborating? Like when they did it last time, had that deal already gone through? Or is this two totally separate things?
So I don't remember the details of the tech last time. I was wondering the same thing. Because like I said, the last NFL game didn't come out great, but I don't necessarily. I would think that the tech side of Sony is different from like the entertainment part that would make the deal with the home video. So I don't think it has any bearings, but I don't actually know the answer.
Well, Kyle, I am curious. Sounds like you follow football a little bit.
A little bit.
Do you find this fun, interesting, like looking forward to it, or you're like, this is so silly, stupid? Like, who are they trying to get new viewers to watch football? Like, I don't
kinda like.
Okay.
I mean, so I will say I've seen some. They do something differently on Nickelodeon. They've had, I think, 3 or 4 of them, and that's like more. That's like the difference is like AR versus VR. Whereas it's the regular game, you're seeing the real players, but then they have like Nickelodeon special effects. And it's actually really cool.
Yes, like the splashes of slime and stuff. I've seen that, and that is kind of fun. I gotta say, just the camera work for the NFL is gorgeous. Like the way they fly those cameras over that field and do stuff, like it's pretty wild. So, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I mean, so the Disney one, when I watched it last time, it wasn't quite as cool, but it was still kind of fun. And if it was a little less glitchy, that'd be good too. And I also feel like part of it might be Disney playing it a little bit safer, because obviously Nickelodeon, they probably have like a dump button or something. But if something happens on the field that's inappropriate, or just, you know, like an injury or something that they don't really want kids to see, then you can try to cover it with slime, but it's still actually happening. Whereas Disney, that, you know, it's still completely animated. And by the way, it's animated in like that 3D style. It's not going to be like an episode of The Simpsons.
Yeah,
but it's kind of adds another like layer of distance.
In the words of Phil DeFranco, go sports.
Yeah, he had that sports thing, and then I think he had season tickets to 2 NFL teams for a while.
Oh, you may be right. Should I get one of those sports shirts?
Yeah.
Sports. Anyway, that's the news. I want to touch on a few other things with you, though, Kyle. So D23 Brazil happened this past weekend. And how was the reporting for that? I assume Laughing Place sent somebody because, as we heard last episode, Doobie explained how kind of crazy Laughing Place can be. Did somebody go?
Yep. Benji and Alex both went and covered it. They had a good time. It is obviously scaled down from the one in Anaheim. Couple bits of news. Almost more like a Destination D23 level event. Maybe somewhere in between. Just from what I saw, they had pretty cool show floor stuff. But yeah, not a huge event, not a huge news, but definitely cool to see how apparently, like they were saying, the fans really were into it. Were chanting for Josh Tomorrow, and loved. A lot of them had done like the international college program and things like that.
Okay, so smaller. They don't call it the Ultimate Disney Fan Event. It's just D23 Brazil.
I think it's a Disney experience or a D23 experience. I forget what exactly the name is. It is. I mean, we spent so long just trying to figure out whether we should hashtag with a Z or an S. We decided on an S, by the way.
Both. Is it in English? I'm going to assume that Josh Tomorrow spoke English.
Most of it was in English just because the executives, the people speaking, are speaking English. A lot of the artwork and stuff that you saw, like if there was a title of a movie, that would be in Portuguese. And there were some presentations that were mostly in Portuguese just by virtue of who was hosting them. So that's my understanding from what I saw from them.
All right. So smaller than Anaheim, but still, a fun D23 event.
Yeah.
Cool. Alrighty, Kyle, I got a notification about an hour before we hopped on here that said something very important was shipped to you.
Oh,
do you know what that is?
I bet I know what it is.
What is it?
I'm guessing it's my 2025 DCTC calendar.
That's right. The Disney Coast to Coast 2025 wall and desk calendars are now available, featuring photography by Moana and the parks, and it's I'm happy with some of this. I'll tell you, I'm going through the photos and like, what is worthy, and I quite happy with the selections this year. So check that out. You can order them now. Of course, I will have a link in this episode's description. So grab yourself a DCTC 2025 wall and desk calendar, and I believe there is even a digital option in there as well. So check it out. Kyle, yours is on the way. Mine is on the way. And of course, I note every single Disney parks opening in the calendar, which I really enjoy as a feature. I don't know if anybody else does, but I got to tell you, I like it.
I do. I mean, I know the domestic ones decently, but it doesn't mean that I remember them on a daily basis. I'm like, oh yeah. The international ones I also don't remember as well.
So there's that. I also want to do a follow-up. Do you remember, soon after the hurricane, in the most recent hurricane in Florida, I said that a DCTC listener wrote in about his hotel experience and how he had to change rooms and all that fun stuff. I got a follow-up from Jeffrey, and here's what he had to say. Wanted to update you on Walt Disney World's response. They ended up refunding one night of our hotel stay, as well as giving us 2 days of our park tickets with no expiration date on them. Not bad. I appreciated them refunding anything at all, so that was cool. It took 3 weeks for them to get back to me because of how backed up they were with the hurricanes. My biggest issue was them crediting us a whole day of the parks, even though they closed so early on the Wednesday before the hurricane arrived, so it sounds like he wanted additional days. Oh, so they ended up giving us a ticket for that day and the day the park was closed, and they kept our park hopper option attached to them as well. So, sounds like they kind of took care of them. It kind of took a while, but interesting to hear a little bit behind the scenes of how they handle that stuff. And I will say, in those sorts of experiences, not just Disney, with any company, folks, fight for what you need, because, they have a standard of what they're being told. This is what we'll give you. But the reality is, if you're majorly inconvenienced and they have the power to do something about it, they should. So don't just take what they give you. Be like, nope, I need more. Like Jeffrey did, and you'll often get more. And if you don't, guess what? It didn't hurt. So there's that. Okay, very important question.
Yes.
Have you seen Music by John Williams?
I have not yet.
Kyle, after the Santa Claus, before the Santa Claus, because it's too early for Christmas stuff. Before the Santa Claus, watch Music by John Williams. Remember how disappointed I was with the Jim Henson documentary on Disney Plus?
Mm-hmm.
Opposite. Loved Music by John Williams.
That's funny because the person that did a review was not too keen on it. They were lukewarm.
Was that Marshall?
I don't think it was Marshall.
Well, whoever it was, they're wrong.
Okay, fair enough.
It's so good. It is so good. And that's all. I mean, that's all I can say. It's so good. And honestly, as someone who knew and knows a lot about John Williams and knows his music, I learned some stuff. Here's the thing that even, listen, opinions are opinions. Your writer can say they didn't like it, whatever. But it told a full story, which is the issue I had with the Jim Henson one, was I felt like it didn't tell a full picture story. This one does. And oh my God, what a story to tell. And yeah, really good. Are you going to see it? Do you plan on it?
Yeah, I mean, it's on Disney Plus, so you never know when I might be like, yeah, now. Can I tell you, I didn't watch a documentary this weekend, but I did finally watch a quote-unquote biopic I've been meaning to watch for a very long time. The Weird Al Yankovic story.
What'd you think of that?
I thought it was a lot of fun.
I thought it was pretty lame.
Yeah, well, that sounds like you.
Meaning I'm a downer or I'm lame?
However you want.
Thanks,
No,
Kyle.
I thought it was a lot of fun. I think it, definitely I understood the humor there, and there was a couple jokes that Becca missed, and I was like, no, it's because of this. She's like, oh, okay, whatever, and I'm like, no, it was great.
I will say it was fitting to Weird Al Yankovic. Like, it was as weird as this thing is. Did I ever tell you he was one of the very first interviews I ever did?
No.
I interviewed him at Mohegan Sun Casino in Connecticut. And it was
you know what? You did just tell me this probably a few weeks ago when we were talking about the number 27.
How did the number 27 and Weird Al have to do with anything?
Because we realized it was both of our favorite numbers, and I said that it's used by Weird Al a lot. And then I remember Mohegan Sun. So it's funny that I completely forgot something that we talked about maybe 6 weeks ago.
Yeah, I don't even remember that. Interesting. So in any case, there's that. Definitely check out Music by John Williams. It's like really quite good. Plus, you just get to hear that music for a long time. Speaking of things we're watching, I'm only like 2 episodes in to Agatha All Along. And let me tell you, it's a little heartbreaking to watch. I'll get to that heartbreaking part in a second. But Joe Locke, oh my gosh. Apparently people love him. And I'm so happy for that because I love Joe Locke. Joe Locke from Heartstopper. Do you watch Heartstopper?
No. I don't even know. I know that he's on it, and I've heard of it.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you anything else about it.
Heartstopper, for the right demographic, it's a very bingey show. I enjoy Heartstopper. I think he's great. Like, I really think he's a good actor. And this role is quite different for him. And just like the buzz I'm hearing, and I'm not hearing a ton of stuff, but like I just keep hearing people say like they love him on that show. And like, is he going to get a spin-off series and stuff? I'm like, good for him. Although he's British and he doesn't have a British accent on Agatha, and it's a little jarring for me because Heartstopper is a British show. But yeah, really enjoying that. But the thing that breaks my heart, and I didn't kind of expect this, even though I knew it was used in WandaVision, they go back and they use some of the backlot sets at the Warner Brothers Ranch for Agatha All Along.
Yeah, it was like one of the last the last shows to do it.
Yeah, and so I live, I don't know, less than 10 minutes from there, and it's bulldozed now, just bulldozed. Like, I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was coming. But I will tell you, the day I drove by and like the entire backlot and stages were just down, I literally screamed in my car. I was alone and I I couldn't believe the sight. It was very disturbing. So it's a little hard to watch them shoot at the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation house and all these cool sets that used to be on that backlot that are now just in a fireplace somewhere. Very sad.
But they relocated the Friends fountain.
They did relocate the Friends / Hocus Pocus fountain. Yes. Years ago.
Had you seen Mayor of Easttown? Did you understand what that first episode was parodying?
Oh, no. I had no idea it was a parody. I just thought it was...
now it's your turn. Now you got to watch TV shows. You don't watch TV?
Honestly, I've never even heard of the show you're referring.
It's Kate Winslet.
What's it called?
Mayor of Easttown.
No, I don't know it.
It was on HBO.
How long ago?
Oscar winning. Not Oscars, because they don't give Oscars to TV shows. Emmy Award winning.
You know what was really good in that first episode was when Agatha goes through her transition of all the different versions of Agatha. Oh, so much fun. I love Catherine Hahn. I know I've said it before. I love her so much. Oh, she's so good. Anyway, there's that. Also, sorry, this list keeps getting longer and longer.
Okay.
Kyle, remember, I think a couple of weeks ago, I talked about the live alien encounter show based on...
Every week you asked me, is there anything else? And that was going to be my anything else, but I figured you'd probably mention it before I had a chance.
Kyle,
so
anything else, Kyle?
Yeah, I wanted to know about I saw that you went to the alien encounter thing. I want to know what how your experience was and wonder why you didn't post a selfie of yourself covered in blood.
Because you could not tell in the selfie that I was covered in blood. That's why. But... oh my God. First of all, I will be doing a whole episode on this show, probably coming in the new year. So keep your eye out for that. But this was wild. Folks, if you don't know what we're talking about, here in Los Angeles, somebody created a live stage version of the extraterrestrial alien encounter that used to be at Magic Kingdom, simply called Alien Encounter. And I'll spoil this one little moment, although it's not really spoil, but I literally was laughing before the show even started because not only are you going in the attraction, but like the people loading you in and stuff are like very much cast members. And somebody came out with a broom and a bucket of water, or actually I think it was a puddle, and dipped it in the broom. And you know how they do like the character art with the water? Yeah. They just drew like 3 lame circles. And it was like, giant Mickey. And and she just had like this look on her face of like over it sort of thing. I was laughing so hard with that moment. And then you get in, the set was more elaborate than I expected. They're not kidding when they say you are covered in blood. I screamed so much because I was just getting drenched in blood. And here's the thing. It ain't just water. I got home and I noticed, I'm like, okay, I got to get in the shower. But I was covered in like red dye. And I was like, oh my God. I smartly brought a change of clothes and a towel. So I just changed in the parking lot after the show. But yeah, and then there's not just blood, the alien mucuses, and you're having like Jello shot at you. It was wild and hilarious.
How long of a show is it?
25 minutes. It's
okay.
Yeah, it's not long, but it's really wild. It's a crazy experience. It returns in January. It was supposed to be just like a Halloween run, and I did like the last show or the second to last show this past weekend. And so it's off for the rest of the year. Returns in January. I genuinely think I'm going to do a full episode on it, so I'll discuss more. But man, that was wild. Speaking of wild, Kyle, I sent you a video clip of John Lithgow voicing Hades in Disney's Hercules. Did you know that this was a thing?
I mean, I was going to check the IMDb to see if it's on there, but no, I didn't know that offhand.
Yeah, social media is so interesting. They dig up clips of like old interviews and stuff, and you just come across it. I see this interview with John Lithgow. He was doing press for Shrek, and somebody was asking him about his voiceover career, and he mentioned he was like, it's long ago, it's fine, I guess I can say it now. He recorded
long ago 3 years.
He recorded the entirety of the Hades role for Hercules, and apparently like Disney threw it away and recast it, and they you hear some of it in this clip, and I was like, I actually think he'd be great as Hades.
Yeah, I don't know, they have to have their reasons. I mean, he's not the only person this has ever happened to, and when he says he did it entirely, like, I believe him, but it probably went through like a bunch of rewrites and stuff. As you know, that's how these things work. But yeah, offhand I can think of a few movies that have done that with stars or with entire voice cast, like The Good Dinosaur, heavily recast.
Wasn't Planes John Cryer?
Yeah, exactly. John Cryer was originally announced and ended up being Dane Cook when the movie came out.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not unheard of, but it is very interesting to have an A-list, maybe not A-list, but a well-known
sir.
star.
John Lithgow was an A-list actor.
He was a television actor at the time.
Okay, an A- list actor. He's really good. I like John Lithgow.
This is back when TV was, seen as less than.
Yes.
You had to aspire to join the ranks of the thespians on the silver screen.
Although when I think of John Lithgow, my first thought is a major motion picture. Do you have any idea what my first impression of John Lithgow would be? Little Jeff.
Little Jeff?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Well, my first thought, for me, I'll tell you mine first. It's not Progresso, thankfully. It's Third Rock from the Sun. But for you, maybe the Twilight Zone movie.
No, it was Harry and the Hendersons.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one, too.
Yeah, that was really good. Can I tell you, I was jealous of Joseph Gordon-Levitt on Third Rock from the Sun. And it's part of the reason I didn't watch the show, because Larissa Oleynik, a.k.a. Alex Mack from The Secret World of Alex Mack, was on that show and was his girlfriend, and he got to kiss her. And I was super envious because I was madly in love with her.
Can I tell you that I also had a crush on Larissa Oleynik? I was probably jealous of JGL for the same reason. And she also dated Sean Hunter on Boy Meets World.
Yeah, the Sean Hunter one doesn't excite me as much. But I will tell you that now I'm a little jealous of her that she got to kiss Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Full circle.
Oh, they're also both in 10 Things I Hate About You.
That's true. And did I also mention a guy I was friends with in college dated her out when we both moved out to LA. He was dating Larissa, and I was like, dude, that's epic. Like she's just unquestionably beautiful. I love Larissa Oleynik, and I loved The Secret World of Alex Mack. That was such a great show.
Yeah.
So much fun.
We have two people on our staff. One's named Alex, and one, his last name is Mac, so he goes by Mac, and it always make me laugh when it would line up on the thing. It'd be like, Alex Mac.
Beautiful. Anyway, Kyle, anything else you want to add?
I think you've exhausted it all.
We've exhausted everything, Kyle. You have a little bit of homework. Santa Claus by the next time we chat, okay?
Okay. Maybe not by the next time we chat, but maybe by the season finale.
Alrighty. Sounds good, sir. You have a fantastic couple of weeks. I'll talk to you again then.
Bye.
You have heard the news, and now I want to hear what you have to say about it. What do you think of the new holiday offerings at Disneyland Resort? Do you have any favorites that you're looking most forward to? Share your thoughts on that or any other topics mentioned in today's episode. Call 818-860-2569 and you may just hear yourself on a future episode of Disney Coast to Coast. Thanks for tuning into this episode. Don't miss any future episodes by subscribing and following Disney with a Z, Coast to Coast on your favorite podcast app, where episodes are available 24/7. This episode has been executive produced by Jeffrey Riccio. Gain rewards like Jeffrey, including access to never-before-heard episodes and live-stream Ask Me Anythings, by visiting the Patreon link in this episode's description. Until next time, anything you need can be found in this episode's description, from the DCTC hotline, where you can leave a voicemail and be heard on a future episode, contact info to reach me, some free gifts from me to you, those DCTC 2025 calendar links, and so much more. So be sure to check out this episode's description. Other than that, folks, have a magical day. Bye!